Hey everybody, just want to show you a little bit here about the PDO. I see a lot of talk about it as to what influence it's having, and as always, I just want to show that one factor is not going to answer all the questions. You have to look at several things, and probably a lot more than I'm even going to show here. But anyway, I'm going to look at three cold PDO cycles: one from 1950 to 1958. Another from about 1960 to 1968, and we'll look at one from 1970 to 1978. So here's what happens when we see the temperatures from 1950 to 1958. Very, very warm across the eastern part of the country and southeastern part of the country as well. Cold across the north and northwest. Looking at precipitation for those years, 50 to 58. Not too bad, average to slightly above in the interior, we'll call it there. So not too bad as far as that goes, but again, very warm. Now we'll go to 60 to 68. Now remember, this is another cold PDO, and look what happens. We have a lot of cold air across much of the country during this period, and precipitation is below normal for those years across the same places it was above normal from 50 to 58. And we'll go to 70 to 78, and here's our temperatures, and we're slightly below normal in the interior, a little bit above along the coast, and very cold across the northern plains, upper Midwest, back through the Rockies, and the West Coast as well. So we'll take a look at precipitation. Now precipitation from 70 to 78, we had some very good winters in there, and it was very wet across much of the northeast and southeast United States. So obviously there's something more going on than just the PDO with those, because we have some polar opposite results from the same conditions. So let's take a look here at the AMO during those years, and in general from the 50 through 68 time period, maybe a little bit before it started going down, but we generally had a warm AMO during those times for those years. So the 50 to 58 and 60 to 68 had a cold PDO and a warm AMO, but there was a lot of difference in those as well. So what might have been different there too, and then of course we go then to the 70 to 78 time frame, and we have a cold AMO. So there we have a cold AMO and a cold PDO during those times from 70 to 78. So let's take a look here at the ENSO cycles, and this is here is from 50 to 58 in here, and I think overall that if you take those years from here to here, we're averaging cold ENSO events, La Nina events during those years. From 60 to 68, probably average, I think we can say here that we average warm. Certainly the El Ninos were certainly much stronger than the La Ninas during that time frame. And then we go to 70 to 78, and we have a distinctly cold ENSO index. So that's those are those years there. So how does that all sum up? Well, from 50 to 58, we had a cold PDO, a warm AMO, and a cold ENSO, and that led, and we'll go back, we'll take a look again, and that led to warm conditions in the east and average precipitation. From 60 to 68, we had a cold PDO, a warm AMO, and a warm ENSO. And the result was we had cold weather and dry weather those years. Now what we want to see, according to this anyway, is we want to see a cold PDO, a cold AMO, and we want to see a cold ENSO as well. And that's going to yield average to below, for the most part, temperatures and good precipitation results. Now, there may have been other factors that worked there. I didn't look at the SOI index. I didn't look at the state of the NAO. I didn't look at that. I just looked at these three factors. But clearly, one thing is not in control of everything, and so yes, the PDO has an effect, but it has an effect in tandem with other things as well. So I think these last couple of years are going to be great learning experiences to figure out exactly what the conditions are and what to look for, and maybe going forward we want to look for cold PDO, cold AMO, and we actually are heading into a cold, well, this doesn't go out far enough, but we're starting to head into, I believe, a cold AMO. So maybe coming years forward, we will be getting some of these better winters coming up. So we'll just have to see how that works out. But I just want to show you guys that the importance of the looking at everything and not just one piece of the puzzle.